RLCS's most seasoned rosters going head-to-head for the first time ever. G2, the North American champions, against Complexity, the Season 4 finalists. Carpet, this is going to be fun.
I'd actually probably say these are the two most fun teams to watch in their respective regions. I mean, G2, especially this season, after that loss, you heard it from Kronovi, that they just ramped up, and now he's excited to play against Complexity, and Complexity have that unique play style where a lot just sits on the backboard and does literally unspeakable things that no one can even fathom are possible. So these are going to be probably the most entertaining teams going against each other. You heard it, they're saying Crow kind of took a back
supporting role.
A supporting role.
Because it's not even necessarily in the back too much, because he managed to finish as the clutch playmaker in North America.
And it shows in his stats. He has 40% of his team's assists, and he's the highest percentage participation in saves as well for his team.
And here we have it, game one, the first time ever, G2 going up against Complexity. Rizzo is going to leave that ball. Magnus downfield a lot, trying to chase it down. J-Naps. Now Kronovi trying to get another touch. Magnus up the side to Metza. Metza into the middle. J-Naps taking control. Beats him, or beats a lot to the ball. Kronovi going for that block. Wasn't able to get it. Now a lot. Got a touch. J-Naps. Beat there by Magnus a lot. It's going to dribble this around the wall. Magnus hitting it back over. Rizzo challenging Metza. And now Kronovi flicks it by a lot. Trying to start this counterattack. Magnus. Just a back and forth right now, Carpet. Both teams are trying to vie for possession.
You heard them mention it on the desk that Complexity spent a lot of their match against Tainted Minds playing it safe and looking for mistakes. And the moment G2 sniff that out, they are going to strike.
Those games so neck and neck for Complexity against Tainted Minds. And this game starting out very similarly. Kronovi, no boost. He's going to try to touch that up to J-Naps. Kronovi challenging, gets the corner boost steal. And now J-Naps off the backboard. No, Magnus denies it. J-Naps the center ball. Kronovi just too slow.
Getting beat to every midfield ball right now. Complexity, they're getting boost starved. They're starting to run out.
Now Metza down the sideline. J-Naps is there a lot. Gonna try to take his time here. Gets blocked by J-Naps. The dunk sends G2 into the lead.
Magnus sitting in net being patient, not aware that Alot didn't have his card behind this ball. He tried to pop it over J-Naps. He read that like a book, pinched it right into the net, and G2 eSports take the first lead.
With that red jersey, J-Naps looking like the Red Baron striking from above. Dunking that one over Alot. And J-Naps, he had a slow start on the season. He had a tremendous season last season. Rizzo playing so well for G2 at the beginning, but then J-Naps at the end really started to turn it up.
Playing aggressive, we just saw a bump on a Magnus in net. G2, they started that in the early weeks of their season, and it was kind of caught us off guard, and they were one of the most physical teams early on. They then tried to be a little bit more selective of when they used it, but expect that to interrupt a lot of these teams that rely on passing plays.
And we know Complexity loves to look for a lot up front. We haven't seen too much of that cherry-picking style. See if they can start it up here. Kronovi popping it up. Alot's going to get to that ball first. J-Naps turns on it. Magnus in a good position to get a touch. Now J-Naps trying to take control. Metza getting in his way. J-Naps just powering through, trying to get a block. He gets it there. No boost, no problem. J-Naps just trying to force that ball downfield.
And you mentioned that Alot isn't really sitting in that cherry pick position, but I think the better that teams got at those short passing plays, it's not that Metz and Magnus can't do it defensively, it's that they physically can't cover the ground. Another dunk! Look at that, giving them a taste of their own medicine. Alot getting that dunk.
Alot got dunked on before. And now on Rizzo, Alot gets a little bit of revenge against G2, and we're all tied up. Just a minute 40 left in game one.
Keeping it nice and close. But yeah, two defenders just can't defend these passing plays that teams are getting so good at executing. So I think that's also why Alot doesn't feel comfortable sitting up in his opponent's half as much because Metza and Magnus, they just physically can't cover that much area.
Now a chance, ball out to the middle. Olat gets the clear down the side. Rizzo has some time. Puts it over to JNaps. JNaps has some space to work with, trying to pass it off the back wall, but didn't get enough height on it. An easy clear from Magnus. Now, sideline clear from Kronovi. Metza waiting for it, but the ball came a little late. Now Olat's taking possession. Chance for Metza. Metza just getting beat there by Rizzo. Olat trying to get the center. Kronovi blocks it out. JNaps had a chance. This ball flying way back off the backboard. A chance for Olat, but he wasn't able to make that read.
Gets demolished as well. That'll help him a bit on defense, but it will slow this attack down.
It's a tough read. That ball going very fast. Now ball floating across center net. Magnus touches it up to himself. Olat right behind him. And a big dunk from Kronovi. Metza trying to get back in time. Does clear it. Now center. Kronovi puts it right back into the corner and follows it up. Rizzo now just trying to get back. JNaps trying to stop this assault.
He slowed it down enough. It bought his team time to find themselves in position.
And now we might see overtime in game one unless some last-second heroics takes place.
JNaps gets there. Gets challenged by
Rizzo's
defender.
up. Ball on target. Olat with the save. Rizzo is going to hit it down, and we have overtime in game one.
Both teams keeping it close, but Complexity's been held to only 2 shots, while G2 has 7. Looking like 8 is going to come in right there on that flick from JNaps.
And I don't know what it is with Complexity in overtimes. They like to do that to themselves. And Olat, he's going to make it a short one as he blasts that in for the winner.
They seem to work well under pressure. That touch a little bit weak from that player on the side. JNaps hadn't had time to retreat all the way back. He was hoping to swing wide, grab the corner boost that he knew wouldn't have been contested that early on after kickoff. But I believe that was Rizzo over there on the wall. Maybe he thought that someone was there to support. Could have just been a missed touch. Maybe wasn't able to get there as fast as he'd wanted. But Complexity will take that game in overtime. Close game still.
And Olat, he finished 3rd in the European region for goal scoring. He had 2 goals here, leading his squad to this victory in game one. Complexity earlier today had 2 overtime victories as well, so they're on an overtime streak.
But they are not taking nearly as many shots. They only took 3 shots and 2 of them went in. They had a
Olat took 3 shots.
Olat took 3 shots and 2 of the 3 went in. So 66% shooting accuracy. I'm sure it'll be good to pad the stats. But even so, he's not really putting himself in an aggressive position. But Metza and Magnus are still finding him. He's still the forward-fronting man for his team. They know the angles the guy can find, but they're doing it much slower. They're a little bit more methodical now. They're not just trying to get that goal that catches you off guard. They're trying to slowly break G2. And they were able to do so, but one of them was on a kickoff from an overtime. So there's still, it's going to be risky if G2 kind of gets the fire behind them or really keeps that defense solid. Then Complexity are going to struggle.
Yeah, but this is shaping up to be a close series. This first game so neck and neck. That overtime surprisingly short with how overtimes go for Complexity.
Yep.
But here we go.
To play
Game
Rocket
number 2.
League.
Yeah. I don't know if they do that to themselves as you know, because they're a little bit of a masochist or what. But here we go. Game number 2. Metza with the kickoff win. Magnus centers it down to Olat. A strong shot from Olat, showing that he's still going to keep that scoring going.
Trying to kick it off early. Rizzo trying to get it clear, but the read from Magnus dropping it right into the midfield. Kronovi thinking he may have had a little bit more time to get that wide turn back in the net. He didn't have the time to challenge that. That was so far away from the defender.
And that was perfectly timed by Olat. He allowed that ball to bounce and hit it right after the bounce, just a millisecond after, and still managed to keep it under the crossbar. A stellar shot from Olat. Now JNaps up for the challenge. Metza won it, trying to stay on the ball. Magnus and Olat both getting a team bump here. Olat's going to try to get this ball into the corner. Good defensive play from him.
Somehow they turned that around.
Now Kronovi over to JNaps. JNaps into the corner. Kronovi trying to get another shot, but wasn't able to get there in time. Rizzo in the corner, getting beat by Olat. Kronovi pops it over one. But Metza, good challenge from him. Sends that ball to the dangerous zone, but Rizzo was there.
Kronovi essentially forcing Complexity to stay on the ground once they realized he was up for that. JNAP's putting that towards target, but a defender will easily clear it. And then followed up by nearly on target.
So far, Alot's the only one to score for Complexity. That was a scary moment there for G2. JNAP's a shot on target, saved by Metza. Magnus tried to half-flip, did get there in time and got the save there. Now Alot, a strong shot. Rizzo making that save. Metza gonna try to pass that out. Instead leaves it for Magnus. Now Rizzo on the ball, Alot challenging. Kronovi with the follow-up, but Metza's there. JNAP's to Kronovi. Kronovi off the backboard, and JNAP's not able to get that shot. Kronovi had zero boost to work with. G2 almost capitalized on that opportunity.
JNAP just couldn't get around it to get enough power. Here's a passing play, Alot sitting on the backboard. This is where he's comfortable.
And there we see a shot off the post. Metza coming so close. Kronovi off the ceiling. Metza puts the ball into the corner for Alot. Alot getting challenged. Magnus missing that hit. Metza's gonna have to take over. A demo from Rizzo on Magnus. We'll see if this helps out the attack. Kronovi gonna leave that for Rizzo. Rizzo puts a shot, would have been wide. Magnus didn't let it hit off that sidewall.
Magnus right now playing monster defense, getting demolished and immediately there to support his team.
And JNAPS now has time, takes control, goes for the flick. But that was shut down for Magnus. Follow-up from Kronovi, going for a second touch. Does get that pass out to JNAPS. JNAPS a shot handled by Magnus. Magnus up to Metza. Metza downfield, Kronovi gets the clear, tries for one rather, gets blocked out by Alot. And that bump on JNAPS leaves the net vulnerable. Kronovi getting back in time. Magnus airing that one up. JNAPS and Rizzo both jumped. Rizzo trying to get it by Alot. Alot got a piece of it. A shot blocked by JNAPS. Metza misread that one there.
G2 under just enough pressure that they don't feel comfortable all getting aggressive. They're taking some of these shots and they're on target, but they're just a little bit too slow because they can't get close enough.
And a good chance for Rizzo's gonna pass it off the back.
Oh, missed defensive play, double bump for Rizzo!
JNAPS ties it up for G2.
Rizzo opening up this net with a double bump. He comes in, he takes out Alot, and then he pushes Magnus. That single-handedly gave them that open net, and G2 eSports tie it up.
Those headlights must be busted after Rizzo came in. Just brutalized those two defenders. JNAP's getting credit for the goal, but that would not have happened without Rizzo, and an immediate response from Alot as he keeps his streak going.
There it is, the confidence from Complexity, which we were scared we wouldn't see as much, but JNAPS couldn't come out for that challenge. Alot keeping it just underneath him.
Yeah,
I think that was a little bit of kickoff mishap.
And Metza, he went in for a bump on JNAPS, forcing JNAPS to jump. So Alot still the only goal scorer for Complexity, but it's working out for him. As G2 now just has about a minute left to tie this up. And that shot blocked by Rizzo.
Nice read.
Good defense from Rizzo, but right now G2 needs some offense. Time running out. And the shot coming in from Alot. That is a hat trick for the... Alot is just running away with it.
I mean, that's 5 goals for him. 5 goals for his team. His teammates haven't really supported him much on the striking, but the passes. He's now 5 shots to 3 goals. His accuracy is phenomenal this series. He might not be playing as aggressive positionally, but it doesn't matter. He's there to be a target for his teammates, and he can still put these shots on.
So impressive, seeing Alot just single-handedly score all these goals for Complexity. We saw those close 3 games against Tainted Minds. Now, looks like they're edging out G2 in the same fashion. JNAPS off the corner, didn't get that read. The follow-up from Kronovi, post and in. They're still in this.
This first touch JNAPS went up for. I don't think he would have done that if they knew they were in this tight position, and they actually expected JNAP to get that second touch. You saw that player waiting on the backboard just in case, and you'd think with all three back, they would have been able to spread out, but Kronovi still beat them out for it. 17 seconds left, 1 goal down. Can G2 do it?
Seen it happen before on the world stage. A pass in from Kronovi. Got a piece of it. Kronovi's gonna air it up into the middle. JNAP's up, puts it down to Kronovi, who keeps it alive. Kronovi! Magnus got a piece of that one. Rizzo touching it, now a lot. Gonna try to follow this one, still in the air. Rizzo picks up full boost, and Kronovi not able to keep it up. And Complexity take game 2.
They brought out the fire, but just a couple seconds too late. They nearly got that. The 0-second goal to tie it up, so G2 Esports know they can potentially do it, but Complexity are playing more methodical. They're slow to the pace, but look at the shots, the goals from a lot. It's actually kind of insane.
He's a machine. He is a machine. A lot just proving that hey, maybe he... It's hard to beat Cooks and KDOP in scoring, but a lot sitting here, a hat trick, in a huge game against G2, now inching Complexity closer to a series victory. And you heard Kronovi say they want to avoid at all costs going down into that lower bracket and having to take over that 4th seed spot in the lower bracket. Now they're just 1 game away from having that happen.
And they're facing a player that right now has 5 goals on 8 shots. That is a disgusting shot accuracy right now going into game 2. So Complexity, they're now 1 game away from match point, or they're on match point, 1 game away from taking the series. G2 Esports, they're definitely keeping it close. They've got the shots, they have the pressure, but it doesn't seem as creative as we've seen from them sometimes. But I think a lot of that has to do with Complexity's defense right now.
Yeah, it seems like Rizzo has not really been playing much of a factor on the offensive side. He had those great bumps, but we're not really seeing a lot of shots come out from him.
And that's kind of reflective of how he performed this season. All of his stats just a little bit below both of his teammates. So we know that JNAPS and Kronovi are a little bit more dominant. Rizzo, a quieter player, and he has his moments when he shines, but now is going to be the time where they kind of need him to shine.
And now a reverse sweep is needed, whereas Complexity just needs 1 more to move on. Now Magnus getting beat by JNAPS a lot there. Good touch from Rizzo. Kronovi with the clear. Metza up to a lot. Jumped for it, but actually got nicked there by JNAPS on the takeoff. And now Rizzo into the corner. Magnus trying to make a solo play. And Kronovi getting demoed on the wall by Magnus.
Some of the most difficult demolitions outside of mid-air demos. Rizzo's going to carry this, forcing all this boost getting used.
And JNAPS, he was ready for that ball to drop down. Narrow miss from him. Clear downfield. Rizzo tries to respond. He's going to try to the block as well, but a lot still able to force it through. Kronovi, a little bouncing shot. Metza pops it up. Rizzo going to put it into the corner. G2 on the attack.
Only 1 player right now for Complexity has more than 10 boost. But Magnus buying so much time with almost nothing in his tank.
Kronovi gets a pass down, but JNAPS and Rizzo too far away. Rizzo has no boost. Just picked up 1 pad.
Magnus making the most out of his retreat. That's something that Complexity's incredible at. Even when they're trying to drop back, they still make sure to get these perfect little touches from underneath the ball, just to keep it up in the air, force the boost out of their offense or out of the defending team.
And a miss there from Rizzo. He's vulnerable.
Oh!
Good read from him, but ball still in danger a lot on the backboard. You never want to see him there if you're on the other team. And now a ball just going to find the net wide open. Magnus gets the lead for Complexity.
JNAPS wanting to slow this down and try and take it to Magnus, who just wanted a challenge. But Rizzo getting caught being a little bit too antsy to support his teammate, thinking that JNAPS would at least get a flick or beat him in that dribble play. He only had about 30 boosts to his name, but even if he had more, I don't think he would have made it back in time.
You said it, JNAPS needed to get that flick. When he failed to do so, that challenge from Magnus just catching G2 by surprise. And now Magnus joins the scoring club for Complexity this series. Kurnovi gets it by Magnus. Centers it down to JNaps. JNaps puts it high and wide. JNaps with the demo on a lot as well. Rizzo, too late to that. Magnus beat him. Kurnovi down softly to JNaps. JNaps with another demo. JNaps has been brutal with these demos.
Something, again, we saw it at G2 in the early weeks of their league play. Something we were very caught off guard by, but worked well for them. And I think now that they're pinned in a tight spot, they're trying to bring it out a bit more.
That clear from JNaps, well timed. But now Rizzo, he missed that ball, and it's just gonna fly right into the net. A 2-goal lead for Complexity.
Rizzo hesitating just a little bit too much before he went up for the save. I think he maybe suspected someone had a better angle on it, but either Kurnovi didn't have enough boost or called off and said, Rizzo, you're gonna need to take this. But either way, he took a little bit too long to react to that. I'd like to hope that Rizzo isn't getting in his own head. I know sometimes he can do that. He's a player that I know they mentioned on the desk that needs to really come into his own, especially early on here at the World Championship.
And the G2 offense, we haven't really seen much of it. Oh, and that block from Magnus almost resulting in a goal. And Rizzo, he's just gonna dunk it by, putting G2 within one.
Let's talk about this passage from Kurnovi. I didn't think he could get this angle. Using the backflip mechanic, he still dropped that down, but then Metanaris, not really the touch he wanted, but not really any other option.
And it was well read by Rizzo. Rizzo saw that that ball was coming in. Metza could only hit that in one direction or let the ball go. So now G2 within one. Kurnovi, another touch there. Got that center ball to Rizzo. Kurnovi showing us his playmaker chops.
At this point, they want to just try and boost Starve. Put it up high, make them use boost, take the corners on your way out. They are all low, around the 30s right now for everybody on Complexity, but they've at least pushed it in the G2's half, and they'll be able to grab the mid boost on the way back.
Chance if Kurnovi can get around to no, he leaves it. Kurnovi going for the bump in net, that ball hitting the crossbar and bouncing up. Close call.
They're getting so close, beating one defender.
Oh! Magnus able to get back just in time.
No boost for a lot, he's got nothing left. He still can't find much, he's got one pad too.
And this assault from G2 taking place, but only 30 seconds remaining. And the block from Kurnovi is gonna allow JNaps to get a good hit. Up to Rizzo, Rizzo missing his shot. Final 15 seconds. A lot. Trying to go for that play by himself. Final 10 seconds. G2 need one right now to avoid the sweep.
A lot does have boost for this. He wants a challenge. JNaps wants to be patient. Rizzo's there for the touch. He keeps it up high.
Final chance, and that's gonna be it.